Hi there, I'm Deb Crowe, and I want to welcome you to Season 4 of Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership Podcast. This is a podcast where we connect, learn, and laugh together with authentic and courageous leaders from all over the globe. You will learn from leaders you haven't even met yet. You will gain new tools to add to your leadership toolkit, because leadership belongs to all of us. It is not measured by stature or title. So please pull up a chair and listen in. This is the Imperfect, Heart-Centered Leadership Podcast. Well, welcome to the November solo episode. My team has graciously pushed me across the uneasy line and said, we're video now. You need to be doing your solo podcast video. So here I am, and I'm starting in November. I'm in a heart-centered state of mind today. I've had a wonderful day at my desk. I'm doing this at the end of the day. I've been recording podcasts and chatting with some clients. And I just wanted to give you kind of a summary of my month. The first thing I want to do is I want to show you this beautiful visual synopsis. So I have a dear friend in England by the name of Danny Savecker, who's been on the show. We've become friends. And she is so talented in reading someone's book and then doing a visual synopsis to collect and portray in her artistic genius and brilliance all the concepts out of my book. And even a couple little special things that she did that I noticed. So I'm looking forward to putting that out there and all the digital assets that she created during the process. So grateful for you, Danny. And I definitely want to tag you in this podcast because I value our relationship so much. My book launch on November the 1st was simply magical. It literally exceeded every expectation that I had. There were some people that couldn't come that were sick. Some people, unfortunately, had COVID. But the room was full. There was friends. There was family. There were colleagues. There were friends that I've known since I was a young girl. People that had been involved in my life before I started my business. People that I knew at the beginning of my business, the first 10 years, the next 10 years, the last 10 years. And even though it was 3 hours, it felt like 15 minutes to me. It was just beautiful. It's a milestone that I'm continuing to celebrate, and to have a whole room of people that are there to support you, celebrate you, and literally lift you up. I don't even have a word for it. We had amazing music by Benny Douglas out of Brantford, which was just perfect. The London Club was an amazing venue. I want to give a shout out to Brett Lucier for getting me the room. And then again, Brett wasn't even able to come because he was running a big event, the Fight to End Homelessness, which also happened in our city. So it's just been an incredible month of events and milestones and celebrations and just all the things. And so when I sit on here at the end of the month, like at the end of October, I couldn't believe the month had gone past. So the point of where I'm going with this is our goals. When we are locked into our goals and we know and can see the outcome, and we have all the steps to achieve to get there, and they're beautifully wrapped in our behavior of discipline and structure, it unveils beautifully. It unpacks the way we want it to. I have done so many fireside chats this month. I have been so blessed. I think we're up to 10. And while I'm not permitted to talk about all the businesses that have hired me because some are in confidential sectors, the ones that have allowed me to talk about the overview of the fireside chat and take a photo, it's just been magical. I was at Gift Craft in Toronto. What an amazing group of people. And they're one of the biggest retail businesses in Canada. And they just bought another business and they're thriving. They have a dynamic CEO and just a wonderful CFO. And the amount of transparency and vulnerability that we're able to get to in these fireside chats, it's just so beautiful. It's organic. It happens naturally. And it really shows me that when you have an informal conversation, you're setting the stage for people to be seen and heard and valued. And the validation among the teams has just been so beautiful to watch. I have done a few fireside chats for Fanshawe College, corporate training solutions. I did one for their clients and another one for their team. And they were powerful. And the questions that come up and the willingness to share amongst the leadership team something personal or something that may have been apprehensive to you to do previously, but having that space and that environment and that informalness, it's priceless. And then I had one at start.ca, which was super fun, great tech company, now part of the TELUS family. And again, I have to say they have rose the bar because they had a big screen TV with a beautiful fire graphic on it or video. It was like a live fireplace. And my chair was right in front of it. So I got to give a shout out to Emily Ferreira and Angela Zaire for their creativity and just a super fun group of people. What a nice way to end my week. And then again, there's a few more that I've done that I haven't been able to share. But what I can tell you is this. When I get the honor and the privilege to sit with a leadership team, which is usually anywhere from 17 to 25 people, depending on the sector, and we just have a raw, open, vulnerable conversation. We share heart-centered leadership qualities. You know, which one are our top 3 in that given day? Which one are we working on and why? And to be able to look across a circle or a square where we all can see each other's faces and say to someone, you know, Frank or Melissa, I really think that you exude this quality, and this is an opportunity where I can share with the rest of the group of when I've seen you do this. The look on the other person's face that is being validated is priceless. It's one of those moments in time where you can drop a pin in a quiet room and hear it. And those can't be measured. They can be experienced, but they can't be measured. And this is the level of heart-centeredness that is really making me happy to go in and share my heart-centered leadership model, have an informal conversation, and see where it can take everybody from that day forward. That seems to be the magic. And signing my books for everybody and leaving them a copy of it. And then also, I wanted them to feel special because they didn't know what to expect or if they should participate. And the people in the group that were introverts, it was hard for them. And I made everyone a beautiful certificate, that snapshot in time that you could engrave into your memory and know that your heart also had a place in this team building / leadership development day, whatever you want to call it. There's always time in an organizational's culture for leadership development. And when it's informal, it's just as meaningful as having a formal topic facilitated. And that's kind of the feedback that I've been given this whole month and pretty much since the book came out. So the official launch was September 18th. And then we did a soft launch. Well, we did the September 18th was online. And then I'm going to say the official launch was November 1st. And just from September 18th to November 1st seemed like the blink of an eye. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your kind words, for purchasing an ebook, for gifting an ebook, for buying a paperback. There's many of you that have bought the book and then bought it for your team or had me in for a fireside chat. Or Cynthia O'Neill, I want to give a shout out to you. You're buying it for 2 of your mentor groups through Lead Her Alliance. I also want to give a shout out to Dr. Sam Luke in England. He bought and suggested it for his mentees. This is the ripple effect that we're going to have and are having currently with our leadership language, our heart-centered leadership, and you sharing what you've learned from my book. And I just can't thank you enough for the beautiful reviews. I love when you send me pictures of where you're reading my book. I've had some beautiful pictures with cats and dogs in a comfy chair with a cup of tea and a blanket on the beach, on the subway. Just the creativity's been fun. And I didn't anticipate that people would share at this level. So just kind of a surprise and anticipated outcome that I didn't even know that was going to come my way. And hitting number 1 on the bestsellers list in healthcare administration, that hit me hard in the heart. Talk about a full circle moment, which is how I end all my chapters. I was in healthcare for 23 years, and I feel like that industry and that sector, that medical sector, has never fully let me go. And I don't think it has. But to go number 1 in that category, that speaks volumes to me. I am among such amazing leaders within that category that I've actually reached out to and congratulated. But to know that my little book and my own thought leadership, which I thought was going to be pretty scary to be out in the world, it's making an impact. And for me, I just want to heal the world. And if my little ripple is going to help do that in some small way, then I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing every single day. So I want to thank you for always tuning in to Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership podcast. I'm having so much fun in season 4. I can't believe we're almost halfway done. And I just value your listenership. I love your comments. Thank you for rating and reviewing our show. And we don't take it lightly that we're sustaining 65 countries for our listenership. So from my heart to you, thank you so much. May you continue to lead with your heart, and remember that heart-centered leadership is always honoring your connection with people. Take care. Bye for now. See you in December. Thanks so much for joining me today on Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the show today and have learned some new tools for your leadership toolkit from our amazing heart-centered guest. If you like the show, feel free to give us a rating and a review, and we always welcome your feedback anytime. If you're ready to master the art of heart, my new book, The Heart-Centered Leadership Playbook, is now available on Amazon, or you can click the link below in our description.